What's up? Fire with Dad, baby.
Fire with Dad, baby. Cha-ching.
Dad, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, big time. I got my green hat on.
I got my orange.
I see that.
There's a thin green line on the top of my underwear, which I think would be a little weird to show people, but I am technically wearing green. So if you pinch me, I'm going to throat punch you.
You don't even have green on your socks today.
I don't, but check out these Jordans. These are probably my favorites I've ever had. You need some Jordans. Could you rock some Jordans?
I could probably rock
some Jordans. We could get the Bears logo on them or something.
Yeah. Cha-ching, baby.
Okay, so today's topic
is
when you bought a Caboose. And ironically, we'll get to that later on. I almost bought the house 2 years ago that the Caboose is on. So tell us, one, your nickname. I guess nobody really calls you it now. And remind me to go over Duber because I got a little acronym for it later. But how did you get associated with trains and that being your nickname back in the day? And that'll get to the Caboose idea.
Well, I've always had trains. My grandfather had a train and went through his entire house. And so
trains, not an actual train. Okay.
Well, he actually worked on a railroad, the Illinois Central Railroad, his whole life. He was the guy that pounded the stakes on the railroad tracks.
Damn, this was your grandpa.
Yeah, his entire life. He was huge.
Is he a badass?
I would say he probably was a badass in his prime.
So why are you so weak?
I'm not. I wasn't. I'm weak now.
Internet. Oh, we got poor internet signal. Hold on. Let me double check the internet. Our internet guy is supposed to be fixing our stuff. Something broke. Let's see here. Internet. So stay tuned for a word from our sponsor. We're on the right signal. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
So anyway, he was about 6'1". He weighed probably about 230, 240.
He was 6'2". He was 6'2" a minute ago.
Or 6'2", 6'1", something in that ballpark.
So how the hell? Why am I short?
I don't know. And he had a sledgehammer, and that's all he did his entire life until he retired at 65.
Okay, so he was a train guy, and so you grew up around trains, and your nickname was Dwayne the Train back in the JC's days, right?
Well, yeah, because it was easy, and so when I ran for all the offices, I usually called Dwayne's Train. I still got a train in my living room. We still got trains there. And then when you guys were kids, I had model railroads in the entire house.
Yep. And the insurance company's logo was a train. I just realized this. I use MP in a unique way. You had a train car, the engine with a P really big and the big part of the engine, and then LAPP.
Exactly.
And so talk about the day of the auction. It was an auction, right?
Well, it was an auction. The roundup, we're now in Erlanger, it's about a half a block from McDonald's, and right there, I think it's Chipotle's there now. And
is it Chipotle or Chipotle?
I have no idea.
Sounds fancier when you say Chipotle.
But it doesn't sound too Mexican in Chipotle. It sounds like it's more like European.
Good point. Okay, never mind.
But anyway, Chipotle. But anyway, that's where they're at now, I think. And the Roundup was a bar that everybody went to back in the 60s and 70s. That was the most popular place in Erlanger, actually in Northern Kentucky.
Was there electric back then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so he had a swimming pool, and one side he had a caboose.
A swimming pool at the bar?
Oh, yeah. He had two bands. They had dueling bands almost. He had the inside band, and then he had a regular bar. And then when you went outside, he had a swimming pool, he had a caboose, and another building, and then he had another band right there.
This place sounds awesome.
It was wild.
Why did it close?
I don't know. A guy named Gallenstein owned it. Okay, and I guess it just lost its flavor or whatever, and he ended up closing it. Maybe he died. I don't remember what. Anyway, they had an auction, and they sold the caboose, and I'm at the auction, and I buy the caboose
because your nickname's Dwayne the Train.
Exactly. So I'm buying the caboose.
So and then what did you pay for it? Do you remember?
About $100. So
it never occurred to you the next part.
No. So the next part, I'm looking at it. I'm going, oh, how am I going to get it home?
Were you going to take it to our house?
I didn't know. I just, that's how the guy bought it. You go to an auction, what happens? You're crazy. And got it. So anyway, guy standing next to me says, let me take it off your hands.
Because you realized that after that, you had to get it. It was going to cost a lot of money.
Well, it probably cost me 10,000 times probably to get the thing home. You'd have to go get a crane to put it up on the flatbed. And then probably at that point, figure out how you're going to get it down the road, because if you're down Dixie Highway, we'd never go under the bridge, the railroad bridge. So it probably been a nightmare. But anyway, So the guy standing next to me says, "Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you twice what you paid for it. It's sold."
And that was Conrad, right?
Conrad.
And he put it on his farm in Union, Kentucky, and it's still there to this day.
Oh yeah, still
and
sitting there.
I remember as a kid you telling us about this caboose you bought. And I thought it was just some wise tale bull crap. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm sure you bought a caboose. And I never, never knew what you were BS or not on it. And then Christy and I went and looked at a house. I think the subdivision is called Cool Springs. We went and looked at a house out there, and then there was a lot for sale. And I'm looking at this lot, and I look up, and there's a caboose on this giant property in front of it, in which, ironically, January of 2020, Christy and I bought that from the current owner, and I thought it was cool because it was what we wanted house-wise and size, and the caboose was there. And then COVID hit, and I realized, okay, well, do we need to upgrade our living to that extent when I have no clue what's going to happen? And what happens if I have to lay off employees and I'm in a bigger, fancier house? So I said, oh, not going to buy the house. So we canceled the house. A guy that I know, I think Tony Rollins just bought it not too long ago, and the caboose is still there.
Cha-ching. It was quite, it was kind of Erlanger, because see, you got the railroad tracks going right next to the caboose,
which is why the gym that I helped create, not
across with the tracks.
Across with the tracks.
And you got the railroad tracks going there, and you got the depot,
Erlanger,
the Erlanger depot right there. And so it might have been the reason why he put the caboose there and the roundup right where he put it.
Where the hell do you find a caboose? Where did he get the caboose?
I have no idea.
That sounds like a cool place, though.
But it was right. I mean, I used to love to go there.
Got to be tough for a bar that depends on a pool in the winter in northern Kentucky.
Well,
it's probably only open 4 months a year.
That was the outside part. He had the big bar inside.
Where was the pool at, though?
Outside.
Okay, exactly. But I'm saying like that.
The pool was closed, but
that's a cool idea.
The thing is, though, you could go in the caboose and you could go to the other building, and the pool was outside, and the other two buildings surrounded it.
I don't think I've ever seen a restaurant up here with a pool. I got my restaurant idea, the starters I want to do in 2023. 10 appetizers, 3 milkshakes, easy menu, great marketing because we'll be doing it. Could have a pool.
Probably the closest thing to it is the Quality Inn down there in Covington.
That's a hotel.
I know, but it's got a pool there.
Every hotel has a pool.
Well, right next to the bar.
Okay, everybody's got that.
Okay,
that's not a good idea.
Hello.
Okay, so the other thing. So today I had you run an errand for me. You drove some pickles down to Megan from the bank, our banker, because we were at Izzy's for
St. Patty's Day, baby.
Which, by the way, the dude was the youngest guy in the place besides me.
At 75, I was probably the youngest guy there.
I don't know if a nursing home had a bus that came there, but Dad was like strutting his stuff, and the women were like 140. Yeah. Like, look at that young guy.
Yeah, hello, baby.
We had lunch there, great lunch. That's how we celebrated St. Patrick's
sandwich
Day.
with
I don't know
with
why
I
associated St. Patrick's Day with that place. Is it Irish?
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, okay. There we go. I just, for some reason, I associated it. I don't drink, and I knew you loved Izzy's, and Izzy's is amazing. So I'm like, okay, we're going to Izzy's for St. Patrick's Day, and me, you, and Austin went. And so we're there, and while I'm there, Megan, my banker, we're having a phone call. I tell her where we're at because you couldn't find the damn building, which wasn't hard.
Actually, it was the old U.S. Bank. Let's say it was the old U.S. Bank building.
You couldn't find Izzy's.
Oh,
so
okay.
She called me, and I'm talking to her, and she's like, oh, my gosh, I love their pickles. So I bought some pickles and had you take them down because you had a couple minutes to do time to spare. And she calls me, and she's like, thank you. And sends me a message. Thank you. I appreciate it. Love it. And I'm thinking, I got ready to say, yeah, I decided to use my dad as Uber. And I was going to make a funny acronym like Duber. And I'm like, oh, shit, your nickname is already Duber. Your nickname is Duber. So you were Dad Uber.
I was the first Uber.
You were the first ever
Uber.
Right here. So
they stole my name.
You should probably try and see if there's any type of trademark infringement.
Oh, yeah, big
something
time.
There.
Yeah. The Duber.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Cha-ching.
Is there an echo?
I guess.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, it's just fantastic. I mean, I love St. Patty's Day. Half my friends, when I was in business, my attorney was
Irish.
A
leprechaun,
and so was
Bob Calvert.
Yeah, Bob.
He's Irish.
Oh yeah, big time.
So Bryce Calvert's Irish.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have to call and tell him like happy leprechaun.
And Scanlons they're Irish.
I should have you go to the store and get me a box of Lucky Charms cereal and take them to Bryce's office. It's St. Patrick's Day and it's March.
Why would Lucky Charms be St. Patrick's Day?
Have you not seen that cereal?
Yeah,
they're based off a little leprechaun.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he found them. He's the founder of Lucky Charms.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, true story.
I've never had Lucky Charms, so I wouldn't know that.
It just clicked to me what I was going to think about earlier. was how you do things on kind of just flying on the seat of your pants sometimes. This building, when I bought this building, at that time I bought this building, myself and Doug Smith from our team were the only ones that went to our office downtown on a consistent. Nobody else did.
I went once a day, twice a week.
Yeah, but I'm saying none of my employees, everybody was remote, and that's always how they were. And I was telling Aaron Smith, we went on a walk today. I'm like, one of the greatest signs for me that I'm on the right path for business decisions and even marketing stuff is when a lot of my other people I know in my circles that aren't marketing and thinkers like me think I'm lunatic, I'm crazy, because it usually means that I'm right. So on this building, you look at it now, when I bought it and I had the vision of what I wanted to do, and it actually turned out
unbelievable.
About 90% of what I want. I
still haven't got the outside yet.
But now there's 13 employees here on a consistent basis, of which most didn't exist back then. And a lot of them were attracted to what we created. And that's what's enabled us to grow so much.
Well, matter of fact, kind of humorous. You're doing the weight room in the basement now.
Are you going to get jacked?
No.
I bet you could be a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I could. I'll be a bodybuilder sideways, baby. But anyway, Austin today was talking about, hey, I can't wait for the thing to get done. Plus the fact is he's thinking about dunking on you on the basketball court.
Dude, Austin will get dominated because we got the lower level. Show you my priorities on. I did a video on this, but we'll have it coming out. When you walked into our sales bullpen, there's like 5-6 people that work in there. I could have put like 3 more desks in there, but I wanted to move the door because you had to walk into the sales area to go into where the weight room is going to be.
Right.
I'm like, well, it's dumb for if people that aren't involved in our company want to come use the weight room, that are members of this building, that are, or maybe just employees that don't want to walk through there and disturb them. So we should move the door. And I'm like, on top of that, if we move the door, it gives us 2 walls
for basketball
30
court.
feet apart from each other. And I can put 7 feet off the ground because we have like 14-foot ceilings down there. Nerf goals. And then I'm going to put a net up so that the ball won't go into the cube area. We've got a full court Nerf goal.
And I'll be dunking on you.
Which reminds me, what's your memory of the Nerf court that Sam and I had at the house when we were kids? This should be pretty easy. We had the house was 3 stories, and me and Sam had his room on the 3rd floor, which was the attic. And him and I had the full court Nerf because it's kind of awkward full court, but we would play some pretty hardcore games. What do you remember laying in bed happening, us playing Nerf?
I get beat up.
No, the ceiling fell in on you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We had this old plaster ceiling because it was old 1800s house. And Sam and I were playing basketball, and you and Mom used to complain about it because we were jumping hard. And you're like, one day this is going to fall. And sure enough, you and Mom were in bed, and the ceiling collapsed on you guys
I couldn't figure out what the hell happened. They had a bunch of plaster laying on top of me.
So the good news is that is on the lower level.
Cha-ching.
And even the top level, this is
you got cement there.
Well, this is a 4-inch concrete floor here too.
Oh, okay.
So we're good there. But that's the good news is at the lower level, we got full court Nerf, and then the weight room will be done. I think they're going to paint next week, and then we'll have weights in there next 2 weeks. And so have weight room, have Nerf,
and then have showers.
Ping pong. The showers are going to come about 2 months because that's going to cost like 10 G's.
Okay.
I know it's expensive. You start amortizing how many showers it's going to get. It's not going to be cheap, but I think if we're going to have a sauna down there in the weight room, you got to have showers. Otherwise, you'll have people walk around stinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
He'll be ripped. And ripped in a couple months. Have a 1-pack. And we realize that if Dad ever wants to feel young, where do you go if you want to feel young?
Right here. Izzy's. Oh, yeah, big time.
Because you were the youngest dude in there besides me.
I still can't believe that.
It comes to show you.
And it was packed. It was only one table left in the place.
It was a good crowd. It was a good crowd. But I think it comes down to the fact that certain generations identify with certain brands. That's a heritage brand here. And that there's probably an opportunity for marketing that can be tweaked to identify with a different crowd as well without alienating the other one.
Exactly. Big time. I mean, that's a great sandwich. I had the Reuben. It was fantastic.
Potato pancake was great.
I love the
pickles are good.
I love the potato pancakes too, and the pickles.
So you're going to stop by and get Mom some for the way home?
I could.
Not could, you should.
Well, I might do that. That's why they got a drive-through, don't they?
There's no might do it. It's your wife.
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
If you don't do it, I will fight you.
Okay, I'll be stopping there then.
Okay, there you go. Mom, he's bringing it home.
Bye.
We're out. Bye with Dad.
Cha-ching.